I just remember Haunt being way too important in way too many matchups when I played with and against Vi in the past. Maybe it's not still the case, but just like having more guaranteed consumes is huge. Probably shouldn't try to believe in that. Scopes for consumes. Don't scopes have like the same problem of just deploying a consume from hand? Like you still need one of. I guess one of your consumes is always gonna live. Yeah, maybe. Your opponent like lets a Barghest stick. You can Megascope Barghest, deploy something else the turn the Megascope comes off. I could see that. GG. I mean, opponent can just have the Lippy in their hand.
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
So I'll run this out. Then jam the Quacks next turn. Darn. Plan seems to have failed. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just self-wound. I mean, Wanderers is worse than Roach and Dog in Lippy. You don't really get to use Wanderers twice. Going through too many cards. That's not true. He's played Coral, Birna, Ceres. These are all cards you play in the self-wound list. The only weird card is the Snowdrop. And we see our second weird card of the game. How big are these? Okay, they are 3 power. Just had to make sure. We're just gonna jam tempo, go like Haunt, Tutor. Yeah, Hunger went down to 2 charges. They changed I's base power, right? I think it went from 13 to 14 and 8 to 7. think. Was it 812? That could also be right. And 1. They should buff Vi. I don't think Vi was ever supposed to be a competitive card. It's not really the type of card you want to push. Yeah, 8 for 12. Yeah, I'll just take my squirrel here. I guess I squirrel the Heat Wave. I think that's the highest impact card. Ideally, I draw 3 Vi's, though it's pretty unlikely. Oh, plus I need consumes. There's an argument for Dire Bear. I don't know. I can always play on the other row. Horn Elephant, just inexpressive. Do you mean expensive? And if so, yes. Just like Old Spear Tip is an expensive gourd. And Ice Giant is a cheap gourd.
Don't you pester me. Right, and eat me goolies. Looky here.
Yeah, just playing Vi. What are the odds I get punished? He's played Derogare and Heatwave already. He can't beat this. Not enough consume. I have a tutor here if I can get a consume. Yeah, I mean, he definitely might not run Lippy. There was no horse, there was no dog. I'm not the biggest fan of using this Barghest twice, but if I use the Barghest twice, then I get to play Vi with every card in my hands, and that's, like, I can't not do that, right? It's not like I gain anything. I guess I could have waited a turn, and I could have floated it again. Though he saw one card deeper. Maybe there's something that punishes me for trying to float it, and he just didn't have it yet. Squirrel! We play a Vi, and we eat a Vi. And then we play a Vi. Nice deck. Yeah, don't give Vi round control, guys. It often won't end well for you. Uh-oh. This deck probably has enough to removal to bully Vi. Rip. Vi is great. You would say that. Mill or no unit is better. Yep, you would also say that. Let's see. Just run this out, I guess. What's the worst that could happen? It's kind of annoying. It means my Vargas doesn't get dominance. It doesn't really matter though. The Vi will get me dominance. Now, I don't really want to play a Nero into a squirrel. Holding the Nero gives him more time to draw into the squirrel. Like, am I ever going to be in a spot where I can deny him the ability to, like, have the tempo to play the squirrel? Could also just not play squirrel. Vi is a 7. Vi is not an 8. I like how I acknowledged that last game and just completely failed to make the connection this one. I think Detlef buff will bring hunger back. No. I do not think hunger is within 3 points of playability. And maybe there'll be other changes too that make it playable. Who knows? Did the triple check for dominance rather than just looking to see that Bargist is green. The old double scope. Yeah, I don't know. Having more consumes might be important. Maybe. Maybe just jam a Vi for carry over there. More bears. Pretty sure meditating mages outgreeds Vi. I don't think Vi can win round 1 against Aretuza Adepts. If it can get to round 3, I wouldn't be surprised if Vi takes it. It just seems hard to get to round 3. I guess he gets to play Bear Witcher this turn. He's playing the Raging Bear version, so there's probably no Quen. There is Gigascorp. bears, yeah. Opponent's board has a lot of different bears. That round went very, very well. I don't know if that round could have gone better. I guess we could have yoinked a card, but I don't think that's all that important. So you have shrooms. It's pretty common. It's for Bride of the Sea. Just another 4 provision alchemy. Plays nice with Gwen. Sometimes is relevant removal. Some Arnichad. Imagine he plays Arnichad, we just jam a Vi. So if I Vi first, it's harder for him to flurry into Hernkaduk to kill the Slizzard. Could do a raw Vi. Probably could. The punish is pretty unlikely. I'm not sure how much value there is to doing raw Vi instead of just doing this. Drakre and Jenga are both very unlikely. Junod's a thing, but Junod hitting a Slizzard is sort of similar to Junod hitting a Vi. If he kills a Slizzard, I have to use one of my tutors for a Vi anyway, or for a consume. Well, I still lose the points if he uses the tower removal on it. Usually you want to use the tower removal after the Vi gets consumed, yeah, but I wouldn't say that it's good for the Vi player. Yeah. Okay, we'll only did one thing on the Slizzard. So if I go the Willem now, hey, Bloodstarved. Willem now, get the Vi, try to float it. Nero for Bargus to consume, and then Naglfar for the last Vi. It's fine. Stuff. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you play the discard package. You had 5 cards in deck going into round 3, or 6 cards in deck going into round 3. think we... I don't know. I'm not doing any math.
That actually works for you.
I think we lose to total removal here. Yeah, Mork gets us to the truffle. Yep. Close game though. I'm gonna play Darkest Dungeon 2. Fuck no. If I do play Gwent, play Mork over it now, because you can double Mork with Fukusia. Yes, Finale Herald would have won there. I think Spores was one short. But aside from that, pretty much anything that would be considered tall removal would win there. Nah, I haven't played Deltarune. I try to wait until games actually release to think about them at all. Lobbies try to force Choop. I don't know. It's probably a little too prevalent. Choop buff might have been a bit too much. It's Choop. Yeah, Chupacabra. It's a card in the storybook brawl. It's I don't know. What the fuck? Okay. You got me. What does it do? Whenever it slays an enemy unit, it gets +2/+2, and the units behind it, or it gets +1/+1, and the units behind it get +1/+1 permanently. And when it's upgraded, everything gets +2/+2. It's just really efficient scaling with Baba Yagas and Grim Souls. Goes a little bit too crazy. That said, I don't know. There are still other things you can try to do. It's gonna be pretty rare that there's not gonna be like some baseline default build to go for, and right now that default build just happens to be Slay.
Nothing will stop us.
Yep, gives itself 1/1/2. That was a change they made sort of recently, within the last month. It sort of pushed it over the top. Then we play Vi. Then we eat Vi.
Target acquired.
Then we play Barbagazi. Hey, and then we win round 1. So how does Enslave 6 beat Vi? All the consumes. It seems difficult when I play Haunt. Siri Nova. Oh. That's the game we're playing. I see. I see, I see. So I'm gonna get to play 3 Vies and consume them in round 3. No, you can't renew here because he's Nova. Like, I could play Decree just to, like, thin a Kikimore worker. Yeah, I could just jam a Vi, whatever. That didn't quite work. I slightly overestimated how much time that I had there. Or you could say I underestimated how long it took to resolve a tutor into Bargist. So I've got to play one more card. I guess I should have ADC'd first. Whoops. Yeah, Naglfar for a tutor on top might have made sense. Not that it matters. In villain 9, he's Enslave 6, so it doesn't matter. You could have a Peter. Just play the one that... I mean, it all works if he kills this, but... You just won't be able to answer the Vi. It'll be fine. Ox doesn't exist. I guess that works. So we'll just get Kikimore worker. They're probably not Kikimore worker. It'll die to the Fire Squirt. Barbagazi. Oh, that's pretty good. Taskmaster Pillar be a consideration? I don't think so. Barb gives him leader. Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. Kind of forgot that was there. Oops. If we discard the Anero, or I guess play Kikimore worker, he still gets to yoink the Villum. Because he had the Vilga. Or use software that had UI lag delay and thought this is fun. I agree. Take that statement however you want to take it. Plans for Inscription? Nah, I'm not gonna play Inscription on stream. I played it off stream. Game was great. Would recommend. Again? Swear to God, with another Kahir friend. I played the game before it. Nah, I didn't play the Hex. I think I watched a playthrough of Pony Island like years ago, but I kind of forgot everything about it. This. Plans for future variety game? Not really. Sort of just focusing on Storybook Brawl right now. If there were to be a variety game, it would probably want to replace the Gwent. No tortoise. My range throw. Yeah, it did turn off the Earquacks. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Reflected in a pond from the night sky.
Yep. Hey, Josh chat. So, let's play another Slizzard. I don't know. So Banshee just dies to charges. Well, we are playing Wholesome Vi. I didn't read the patch leaks. I'll worry about it when we actually have full notes.
A person of trifling import, you say?
Careful of Coup into Quacks. Does Enslave 6 ever play Coup? There's no way I'm respecting that.
Long live the Emperor!
Why are we playing Vi? Why are we playing Gwent? There's absolutely nothing new about it, just like a lot of other stuff in the game. But, turns out when we're a couple days before the patch, you tend to have exhausted everything that's new. I can make him play one more card. Yep. You can't stick this against Enslave. This is kind of a disaster. Important to win round 1 against Vi, so they don't bleed you. There are very few decks that can win in round 3 in like a 3 versus 4 if they just go Vi, leader charge, Vi, leader charge, Vi. This is a Nero number 1. Don't want to waste a leader. He can answer it, I lose, but what are the odds? Yep. Turns out he was playing Coup. Don't know why he's playing Coup, but there is a Coup in his deck. Maybe there's a Joachim in there somewhere. I mean, you can. It's not super reliable. Like, I don't think you expect your Helga to live most of the time. Okay. Pushing a Vi. I mean, if he's out of tar removal, there's not a whole lot else he can do. If he goes to round 3, he just gives us more time to find our tutors, and he loses anyway. And he did appear to be out of tar removal. I don't know, rough spot. Yeah, at least there was no Kahir. Who's a nutty card, though? By itself? Not really. Who's a nutty card when you have enough things in your deck naturally that make it work? You can't just, like, throw Coup in any deck and have it be good. Like, if you're not playing Joachim, Coup gets quite a lot worse. Not because Joachim's like the best target, but it gives you something to do
Deal more
with one of your coups that is reasonable.
Crack and eat me ghoulie. Looky here.
Hey, Brisgiz. Games are going alright. Your Joachimless Ivar deck never fails. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 3 damage change from 3 to 2-3 from 2 is a massive buff. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Your stench.
Hey, Ludwig. Glad you enjoyed the cast. It was a good time. Discarded a greatsword. His hand is nuts. Is it that weird to discard a greatsword? I don't know. Maybe just once in the graveyard for Hjalmar.
Don't you pester me.
Like, he discarded greatsword. Okay, he discarded the Skjortl. His hand is nuts. You got me. I will no longer debate with you. His hand is in fact nuts. Harold Verfukusia. He might play both. I do find it funny how Gwent patches keep getting leaked on the Play Gwent website. Every time in the ambassadors group, they're like, oh, we'll have this fixed for next time. And then inevitably, the next patch happens.
freedom. I long for
And it's still happening. Apparently this time it was a different reason.
Sometimes submission is a virtue.
In the Gwent League, I don't know the technical details, but for whatever reason, the new texts get pushed to the library before they're supposed to. And apparently for a different reason every time. I would like Haunt. Is that too much to ask for? Oh yeah, it's way too much to ask for. I don't want to use a tutor for Haunts. This card's really bad. In a long round 3? I don't think I do.
Burn the homes, fell the trees, engine shiny, plunder.
I don't know. I feel like I at least want to force some quality here. Get the natural Vi back into my deck so I can draw it again. No tortoise. I'm maybe supposed to also play the Decree and commit the second leader chart. Oh, never mind.
No retreat. One step.
Perfect. I'm drinking tea. I do have a black tea here. The other thing that I'm drinking is just the Vi. It's my normal configuration of beverages. Spicy buff to SK beats, like the Skellige music. I'm down for a buff to the beats. Not that I'd ever listen to it, but it'd be cool that it's there.
Kill the sons, steal the lasses.
Hopefully it lives. Darn.
Who wants to take Skellige steel?
So if I go a Nero Haunts, I'll just do this one first. Just gonna do this one first.
You shall get free. Here's the better loot than your wildest, wettest dreams. I'm done. Full service.
Now we go degree, get the Vi. I guess we do this way. Just remove all the bloodthirst. Might matter for something. I think we're fine to Ulfidin too.
Your skull will make a fine pattern.
I don't think this is very close. You could Ulfidin our entire board and we'd still be winning. Bakus, yeah. That's a pretty good card.
One and all.
I don't know, Rupture just made you play differently. Ryagon. You can really see where my priorities are in this matchup. Getting rid of Necker before getting rid of the Bricked Wildhunt Rider. I have such confidence that Necker is going to be a playable card in this matchup. No, just Jam Haunt. Because Sam's got so many consumes, makes me not want to just Jam Haunt. Even got the Crystal Skull.
Mock not the creeds of others. It's neither polite.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is going to be hard to win round 1, I think. Like, if he just plays a Messenger of the Sea, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do anymore.
Great is her hunger, and great is her power.
Putting Osril in your decks just to eat Melusines? That's a lot of provisions in your deck just to eat something that comes up in like 5% of your games. How many Melusines do you play against? It's really fun eating a 24 Melusine. Fair enough. Fair enough. And play Fulmar? Why? He's gotta do something. It's not like the storm is gonna matter later.
Your descendants, my beloved. Sacrifices for men, one and all.
Well, at least there's no Messenger of the Sea. There's just Ryagon down. He gets +1, right? Because this heals and then gets damaged by the Melusine. There's nothing else. Oh wait, this isn't giving him any points. I think I can do this. Even click Fulmar. Yeah, they probably should have clicked Fulmar. The Barghest would have died. Apparently I mathed really wrong. Oh, because this is +0, right? Okay. Cool. No tortoise. Well, we managed to win round 1 as Vi. I feel like that probably means we win. Lucine will carry. Oh, should I have let in hero for Squirrel? I kind of forgot about this thing.
Accept this offering that we might make the coast safely.
Yeah, I'll just take that out. This is probably more important than a Vi.
Best drown yourself with those damn nets.
A full Mar. Yep. Have fun, opponent. Hey, Morgoth, thanks for the Prime. Thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Cool. Got their heat wave. Hopefully we get a second Vi. That's a second Vi. That's pretty awful. Fire to help with next rounds. Because if Willem pulls it, like I don't want to dilute tutors from my deck. I don't want to go Willem into a tutor and have less tutors to draw.
In the end, the sea
Well played for a land rat.
There's obviously no reason to play it into Rage of the Sea. Especially with Messenger of the Sea here.
we serve her who is virgin, mother, and crow.
We dare not set sail without your blessing.
This is worth more points for our opponent too. Probably. Maybe not. It's close to even. Maybe it's 1 point for us.
Nelly sends blessings. We pay her with reverence.
It's better to Willem first. So I only have 1 unit in play rather than 2.
I must think of my foe.
We. Yep. And not even most of the losses. We lost to Nilfgaard once, and we just lost to Gurney. Like, there's a fair number of games we just get out-greeted. Well, shooters forgotten. Nope, I am from New Jersey. Surprised the Rain player lost. He didn't have any Messenger of the Seas in round 1. That's kind of what it came down to. If we played a single Messenger, I don't think we win the first round. This is a classic matchup. Dwarfs versus Vi. Kusia and Ryagon round 1 seems like a massive mistake. No, winning round 1's the most important thing. Committing those if it wins you round 1 is correct. Like, if he doesn't play those in round 1 and still loses round 1, he loses the same way. His deck just doesn't win a short round 3. As long as I get to swirl the Melusine. It is 2 a.m. in New Jersey. I have had the schedule for over 3 years now. He's got the Bruber in his hand. How do we stream it this time? That's a convenient time to stream. It was an open time slot when I started streaming, and changing your stream slot is pretty hard. You gotta like rebuild your community. I mean, when did I ever say that I wasn't nocturnal? What? Ranged payoff. There's not really a ranged payoff. No one plays it. It's not really built to be part of the dwarf archetype. I don't know, I guess I'd play this. That's a problem. Nope, no tortoise. Only 2 buys. There's 23 points. Opponent played Spores.
Was it so flabby, crummy, and Nilfgaard?
Mahakam Ursine built to the day.
Yep. Not Zoltan's company. If he uses a Nero here, that means the Heat Wave's in his hand, though. Which probably means we can't win. I guess I could have saved my last 2 cards as the 2 tutors, rather than trying to get ahead last turn. Yeah. Would have been a better line. Is that not a tall removal? So what is he getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got to use a leader charge here. Okay. Well then.